I'm going to share with especially students of English literature BA third year and some relevant information about In Search of Our Mother's Gardens. It is a prose piece written by an Afro-American writer, poet, short story writer and novelist. This prose piece is prescribed in third paper in New Literatures in English. First, I want to tell about Alice Walker. She was born in Feb 9, 1944 at Putnam County, Georgia, US. Her father, Willie Lee Walker, mother, Minnie Lo Tallulah Grant. They were sharecroppers. She took her studies in Spelman College, Sarah, and higher education at Lawrence College, New York. She was married in 1967 and she has a daughter, and she is also a famous writer. She has a notable list of writings, but here I am telling about her great works. The Third Life of Greenwich Copeland. It was published in 1970, Meridian 1976, The Color Purple in 1982, Collected Poems in 2005, In Search of Our Mother's Gardens, Feminist Prose in 1983, and Overcoming Speechlessness in 2010, Chicken Chronicles, a memoir in 2011. As you know, that she got Pulitzer Prize for fiction for The Color Purple in 1983, and for the same novel, The Color Purple, she got National Book Award, O. Henry Award for Kindred Spirits in 1985, and so many other awards and many fellowships and honorary degree. In Search of Our Mother's Garden, it is a collection of 36 essays. It is divided into 3 parts. First part includes 10 essays, which mentions the early black writers and heroines. The second part deals with civil rights movements, and third part includes the address to black women coping with self-worth and self-respect. The essay begins with a poem by Marilou, A White Cat. In this poem, she compares mother to the root and the child to the flower. Nobody knows about the root. Root provides water. Root provides life to the plant. It also saves the flower, the plant, from the harsh winds. She remains unsung, unseen, and really the flower is appreciated by everybody. Alice Walker also quotes Jean Toomer. It is the work Jean Toomer's Cane, and in which Jean Toomer compares the black women and picturizes them to sex objects. He also compares them with saints, their bodies with shrines, and their minds with temples suitable for worship. But Alice Walker compares those black women and her grandmothers and great-grandmothers and mothers to artists and to the creators who lived lives of spiritual waste. She tells that they were also the singers. They were as famous singers as like Bessie Smith, the most popular female singer of the 1920s and 1930s, Billie Holiday, who was an American judge, singer, nicknamed as Lady Day, Nina Simon, who was also an American singer, songwriter, pianist, and activist in the civil rights movement. She also mentions Roberta Flack, who is an American singer, and she is the only solo artist to win the Grammy Award for Record of the Year on 2 consecutive years, 1973 and 1974. Aretha Franklin, who was also a famous singer, songwriter, actress, finest and civil rights movements. Now, she also says about Phyllis Wheatley. Phyllis Wheatley, she was the first Afro-American novelist. She was captured and enslaved when she was only 7 years old. And she was rescued. And then she told, I don't remember my homeland. She thinks about liberty. She thinks about liberty and she compares liberty as a goddess. She used to comb the hair of goddess liberty. In the same way, she mentions Nella Larsen, Zora Neale Hurston, who were also American novelists, and Zora Neale Hurston, she was influential author of Afro-American literature. She says that Jane Austen, Virginia Woolf, and other writers, they were very famous because they were white. And these novelists, these singers, they were not acknowledged. Here she remembers her own mother. She says that when she was only 17 years old, she ran away with her father and delivered 5 children. Once her landowner said, why are you sending them to school? Why are you educating? She was the woman who was furiated. She tells about her mother, that her mother owned a beautiful garden full of roses, dahlia, petunias, etc. And the poverty of the house, that was all hidden due to those flowers. And the people from distant places, they used to come there and they used to appreciate those plants and flowers and they used to buy them. She also mentions one quilt which was made by rags and it was kept in Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. And what was written under that quilt? That it was made by an anonymous black woman from Alabama. She says that certainly she was her grandmother or great-grandmother. In the end of the essay, she compares her mother to Mem, a character in the third life of Greenwich Copeland. She says that my mother was uneducated, but she knew where my books should be kept. She was not knowing any letter, but she was knowing the importance of literacy. She says that in Phyllis Wheatley's signature, there were the signatures of her mother. And she tells about herself that in my signature also, there are the signature of my mother.